Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from Notion Hub, and in this video, I'll be showing you all the best features of Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. By the way, I have already posted a dedicated video about the tips and tricks section where I've talked about many things which I won't be covering in this video. So definitely check out that video as well, link will be in the description. Now with that said, the most highlighting feature about this phone would be its cameras. On the rear, it's got a triple camera setup with a 200 megapixel primary camera with Sony HPX sensor, and for selfies, we get a 16 megapixel camera. These are some sample shots. Now this is the major difference between the Pro Plus and the regular 12 Pro. Next best thing about this phone would be its performance. This phone comes with a MediaTek Dimensity 1080 processor with Mali G68 MC4 GPU with up to 12GB of LPDDR4X RAM and 256GB of UFS 2.2 storage. It also has a vapor chamber cooling system to maintain the thermals. Overall, the performance of this phone is definitely pretty good and definitely one of the best in the price segment. Next best thing about this phone would be its display. This phone comes with a 6.67-inch Pro AMOLED display with Full HD Plus resolution, 120Hz of screen refresh rate, and it also has a peak brightness of 900 nits. It has HDR10+ support, Dolby Vision support, and also comes with Corning Gorilla Glass 5 for protection. It is definitely one of the best looking displays in the price segment. Next best thing about this phone would be its super fast charging speeds. This phone comes with a 4980 mAh battery, but comes with a 120 watt hypercharger inside the box. You can charge your phone completely from 0 to 100% in just 19 minutes. At least right now, this is the fastest charging speed available in this price segment. Next, this phone also comes with dual stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos support and high-res audio certification. Here's how the speakers sound. They are loud and have good quality, and they are great for media consumption, whether you're watching videos or playing games. Next, we also got a wide-angle camera. It's an 8 megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera with 120-degree field of view. These are some sample shots. Next, we can also enable the app drawer on this phone. Now by default, whenever you set up your phone, it comes out with the classic home screen where you don't get an app drawer and all the applications are thrown onto the home screen. So if you want an app drawer, you can easily change it from here. Just select the toggle and you can have your app drawer. Now you can go to the home screen and just do a swipe up gesture to pull up the app drawer. Now you can also customize this app drawer, like you can change the background and change the transparency of the background as well. Next, this one also has the PIP mode or the picture-in-picture mode. While watching videos on YouTube or Netflix or Amazon Prime, whenever you go to the home screen or switch to any other application, then instead of closing that application, that video will open up in a small pop-up window. It's a pretty old feature that you can find in almost all the phones, but it's just a quick reminder. By the way, if this feature is not working for apps like YouTube and Netflix, make sure it has the right permissions. Next, I'm going to show you how you can open floating applications on this phone. For that, you just need to go to the recent apps page, click on the app icon and select floating application. Now once you do that, that particular application will open up in a floating window. Now you can move it around, resize it, minimize it or close it. It's a pretty cool feature, but only few applications support it. Next we have sidebar. Now this particular feature allows us to easily open floating applications from anywhere, anytime. Now by default, whenever you enable the sidebar, it only works whenever you're using your phone in landscape mode, whether it's watching videos or playing games. But if you enable this toggle, keep this feature always on, you can access the sidebar from anywhere, anytime. You can just swipe from the side to access the sidebar. You get the list of applications and you can select on any one of them to open that particular application in a floating window. It's a pretty cool feature, do give it a try. Now the next best thing about this phone would be the dark mode. Now you can enable this feature from display settings, and once you turn it on, all the UI elements change to the dark mode theme, and now the UI looks much more cooler. Now this dark mode helps you save some battery and strains your eyes less if you're using your phone late at night. Next we have always on display. Now this is a feature which always displays your time and date information whenever you lock your phone. By default it's not turned on, but you can enable it from the display settings. You can also change the clock style and the background. You can also schedule it to turn on and turn off automatically at a specific time to save a little more battery. Going on next, we have a brand new automation feature that allows us to change the phone volume depending upon the application. You can do all that from here. Next we have Palm Shutter. Now this is a new feature added with the latest version of MIUI, and it's also available on all of the phones. Once you enable this feature, you can just show your palm to your front camera to take a selfie. Next we have Beauty FX. Now this is a new feature that can literally change the way you look. It gives you various options to change your physical appearance, add makeup effects, and even add filters as well. Next we have Beautify for video, which can make you look a bit more beautiful even while recording a video. Next we have Panorama Selfie mode. On other phones it's also called as Wider Selfie, where you can just take a picture and twist your phone left and right to take a wider selfie or a panorama selfie. When done right, it does look pretty good. Now going on next, we also have slow motion video recording. We can record video at 1080p at 120fps or at 720p at 240fps and even at 960fps. Here's a quick sample footage. Next we have SHAREME, which was earlier called as AirDrop. Now this feature is just like Share It, but just for the Xiaomi phones to transfer files between Xiaomi phones or Wi-Fi. Next we have secondary space. Now this feature allows you to create a secondary space on your phone. That means you'll be able to use a single phone as two different phones. In the secondary space, you can have completely different Google accounts, passwords, and different set of applications as well. It's a pretty cool feature, but personally I will recommend you not to use this feature as it can slow down your phone. If you have a flagship from Xiaomi, then you might consider, but most of the time, I'll recommend you not to use this feature. Going on next, we can also hide applications on this phone. You can do it directly from these settings, but this particular feature works only with the default launcher. Like if you install any third-party launcher, say like Nova Launcher, then you can still see those hidden applications. But as long as you're using the default home screen launcher, those applications will be hidden. Next we have Glance for MI. If you're someone who likes to change your lock screen wallpaper all the time, then this is a great feature for you. Once you enable this feature, every time you wake up your phone, you get a different wallpaper. From settings, you can also select categories so that you can get wallpapers only from those particular categories. Going on next, we have full screen gestures, and once you enable these gestures, you can swipe from the bottom of the screen to go home, swipe and hold for recent apps, and you can swipe from the left side or right side to go back a step. For Google Assistant, swipe from the bottom left corner or bottom right corner diagonally and it will trigger Google Assistant. Besides that, you can also swipe left or right on the bottom part of the screen to quickly switch between the applications. Here's a quick preview. Next, I'm going to show you some important MIUI 11 related features. First, we have different notification styles. From here, you can choose between Android style or MIUI styles, and there is definitely a pretty significant difference between the notification styles of stock Android and MIUI. Next, we also have a new feature called Sky Edit. Even though it has been even on the previous MIUI 9 phones, this feature is still pretty new. Using this feature, you can literally change the sky in the background. You get different presets and all of them look pretty cool. Next we have dynamic alarms. Now this is a brand new feature in MIUI 11 that gives you dynamic alarm tones depending upon the time of the day. So if you have an alarm in the morning, you get a different tone. If you have it in the evening, you get a different tone. So that's the new dynamic alarm feature, and we also get a lot of new natural sounds. Next we have MI Share. Now this is a feature from Xiaomi just like Share It, which can be used to transfer any kind of data between two smartphones. When compared to Share It, at least this version is much more cleaner. Next we have video wallpapers. Now using this feature, you can set up a video as your lock screen wallpaper or a home screen wallpaper. Here's a quick preview. Next we have digital well-being. Now this is a feature from Google which literally tracks all your usage, analyzes it and gives you a complete report. Using this feature you can track your usage, and if you want, you can also put restrictions upon yourself. Like if you don't want to use YouTube for more than 15 minutes a day, you can put such restrictions using this feature. Next we have bedtime mode. Now this feature is pretty similar to wind down from Google's digital well-being, and once you enable this feature and configure it, it will automatically enable grayscale mode, that's to make your display black and white at a specific time every day or depending upon your settings. It just acts like a quick reminder for you to sleep. Now going on next we have quick ball. You want to use your phone single-handedly? Then this is a great solution for you. Once you enable this feature, a floating bubble will pop up. You can use it in two ways. You can either tap and select the option, or else we can swipe. Personally, I like to go with swipe option with navigation keys. Once everything is properly set up, you can simply swipe on the floating bubble to go back, go home, or even open recent tabs page. Now going on next, we have some handy gestures. First we have the double tap to wake. Now this one is pretty simple. Just enable this feature and double tap your screen to wake it up. If you are using face unlock on this phone, then you can simply double tap your phone. Phone wakes up, sees your face, and immediately unlocks the phone. You don't even have to use the fingerprint scanner. It is super convenient. Next we have raise to wake. Now this is another super useful feature. Once you enable this feature, every time you raise your phone, your display lights up and shows you the lock screen. Once again, if you have enabled face unlock feature, it wakes up, sees your face, and immediately unlocks the phone. So this feature in combination with face unlock works just like the latest iPhones. Now going on next, we have two super shortcuts to quickly open the camera application. First way is to open the camera application by pressing the power button twice. This particular shortcut works anywhere and anytime. Just enable it from additional settings, and every time you press the power button twice, camera application will pop up almost immediately. Most of the time it works. Another way to open camera application is from the lock screen. Now once you enable this feature from lock screen settings, on your lock screen you can press the volume down button twice to quickly open the camera application. Well, that's a feature and it works, but personally I still like to use the power button. Now going on next, we have 3-finger screenshot. Now before I show you that feature, let me show you how to take a regular screenshot. On this phone or any other phone out there, especially Android phones, if you want to take a screenshot, press the volume down and power button both at the same time. Once you do that, your phone will take a screenshot. For some reason, if that's a bit difficult for you, you can always use the notification toggle. Now coming back to 3-finger screenshot, once you enable this feature, you can simply swipe down using 3 fingers to take a screenshot. This is personally my favorite way to take a screenshot. Next we have long screenshot. Now to take a long screenshot on this phone, first we need to take a regular screenshot. We can either use the buttons, notification toggle or the gesture. And once you have taken a picture, you will get a preview at the top right corner of the screen. Just click that and then click scroll. Your phone will scroll the current application automatically and then take a long screenshot. If you want to stop in between, you can always click the done button and it will take a long screenshot up to that point. You can find those long screenshots along with your regular screenshots. Next we have a shortcut to turn on the torch. Now there are many ways to turn it on, but personally I like to long press the back button to turn on the torch. This is how you do it, and once you're done, you can press and hold the back button anywhere, anytime. That's when your phone is unlocked to turn on the torch. Now that's definitely a very convenient way to turn on the torch, and once you're done doing it again, it'll turn it off. Next we have dual apps. Now Xiaomi has this awesome feature called dual apps, which allows you to use 2 instances of the same application. That means you can use 2 Facebook accounts, 2 Instagram accounts, 2 Twitter accounts, or even 2 WhatsApp accounts on the same phone. Now there are many phones out there that offer a similar feature, but all those brands offer this feature only for few applications, especially social media applications. While on this phone, we can use dual apps feature on literally all the applications. Next we have reading mode. On many other phones it's also called as night mode, and once you enable this feature, it puts a warm tint on the screen and filters the blue light. According to research, blue light emitted by our displays at night will affect our sleep. So using this feature will prevent that. We can also change the intensity of the warm tint. We can also schedule it to turn on and turn off at a specific time or at sunrise and sunset. Going on next, we have one-handed mode. Now for some reason, if you think this phone has a massive display and if you can't use it single-handedly, you can use this feature. Once you turn on this feature, you can swipe on the navigation bar from home to left or right to shrink the screen. In this mode, you can literally do anything, make calls, take pictures, and do everything with a single hand. You can swipe in the same direction to go full screen, you can swipe in the opposite direction to switch to the other side, and do it again to go full screen once again. From settings, you can also change the size of this window. I'm at the screen. Next, we have some pretty cool gestures related to phone calls. First, we have flip to silence ringer. Now, just like the name suggests, when your phone is lying on a flat surface, when you get a call, you can flip your phone to silence the ringer. Next, we have quiet ringer when lifted. Once you enable this feature, whenever you get a call, you can pick up your phone and the ringtone volume goes down. It won't go completely silent, but ringtone volume does go down. Next, we have increasing ringtone volume. Once you enable this feature, every time you get a call, ringtone volume starts with low volume and gradually increases. Next, we have flash when ringing. Once you enable this feature, every time you get a call, your flashlight, that's the rear flash, flickers. Next, this phone has a super handy feature to identify unknown numbers. Just like Truecaller, Xiaomi collects information from various sources to identify spam and scam calls. It isn't as effective as Truecaller, but it does work. Next, we have a brand new feature called Game Speed Booster. Now, this is like a dedication application in itself, and once you open it up, this is how it looks like. You can add all your games to this list and then swipe right for settings. Now from here, you can do a lot of things. Improve the gaming experience by clearing the cache. You can also configure the navigation shortcuts, restrict network switching while playing the game, restrict background sync, prioritize network usage, enable silent mode, hands-free mode, and even fix the screen brightness. Whenever you open any of the games from your list, all these settings will be applied automatically. Now going on next, we can also change the background app usage. MIUI offers you additional options to tweak individual apps to further improve battery life. You can completely stop applications from running in the background. You can restrict background access. You can restrict background sync and usage and do stuff like that. It might help, but usually its effects are not that visible. Now going on next, we have wireless display. Now using this feature, you can cast the screen of your phone to any television with Mirrorcast or to a Chromecast. This feature works really well with MI TVs. Next, we have local backup. In backup and reset settings, we have the option to backup everything on your phone, along with user data. This is really handy when you have to reset your phone and quickly take a backup of your apps. Now, when you reset your phone, all this data will be deleted. So once you are done with the backup, copy it to your PC or a pen drive and transfer it back to your phone once you are done resetting your phone. Now going on next, we have some features to improve the audio experience on headset. Now using this particular page, you can select the type of headset you're using. If you're already using a Xiaomi headset, you can further tune your phone to give you best results for that particular headset. You also get the equalizer settings to tweak the audio further according to your preference. Now going on next, we have themes. If you're someone who likes to tweak the look and feel of your phone, then Xiaomi phones or MIUI itself is great for that. You have tons of themes, tons of fonts and wallpapers and stuff. You can download it from the themes app and apply them with just a click of a button. Here's a quick preview. Next, we have a super handy feature called Scanner. It's more like an application itself. Now this is how it looks like. You can scan a regular QR code and most importantly, take pictures of documents. Now, no matter which angle you take pictures in, it automatically aligns the page, changes the perspective and crops the image to give you the perfect document. You can also grayscale it and copy the text from the image. Next, we have screen recording. Now, if you're someone who likes to record the screen of your phone, then on this phone, there is a dedicated application called Recorder just to do that. Just open the application and click the record button. You will see a floating button and you can start recording whenever you want by clicking that big red button. Once you're done, you can click the stop button and you can find that recording in your gallery. Next, we have a feature called SMS schedule. Now using this feature, we can automatically send an SMS on a specific date at a specific time. This is probably one of the most coolest features of this phone. Well, nowadays most people don't send messages, well, especially SMS, but if you're someone who want to automate it, you can do it on this phone. Next, we have auto start permission. No matter how many times you kill any application or close an application, some applications start automatically in the background, say like Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. and they end up draining the battery, especially if you don't use those apps a lot. So using this feature, you can restrict those applications from auto starting in the background. Next we have App Vault. Now looking at the name, you might think it's an app lock kind of a feature. Well, it's not. In the default launcher on the leftmost screen, you get a dedicated page with multiple widgets for quick shortcuts, notes, stock prices, call a cab feature, cricket scores, and so on. So if you want to see this page, enable App Vault, and if you want to hide it, disable it. Next we have the option to mirror buttons. Now usually on most phones, especially phones with pure stock Android, it doesn't give you the option to swap the back and menu button. But on this phone, we can do it. Next we have an app lock built into the system. We can set it up with a different password from your lock screen password and obviously lock applications. Now whenever you try to open any locked application, you have to either enter the password or we can use a fingerprint scanner. Now there are many third-party applications which can do the same, but this feature comes inbuilt and it's quite secure. Next we have Folder Vault. Now using this feature, we can hide files on your phone. Whether it's a video, photo or any other file, you can hide all those files in the Folder Vault. To use this feature, open the file manager and swipe down until you see the lock icon. Once again, you have to set up a password and it can be different from any other password you have already set. Now once you're done configuring this feature, you can select any file, go to menu and click hide to hide that file. So guys, those were all the best features. If I missed on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video, and definitely check out my video on tips and tricks section. Link is in the description. Now if you're planning to buy this phone, please use the link in the description. It always helps the channel, and if you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.